High up in the remote Himalayas, where the mighty Chenab River just carves its way through these ancient mountains, there's a place where trains literally seem to glide across the sky. This is the story of an engineering marvel that just defies imagination. We're talking about the Chenab Rail Bridge, a structure that was destined to change a region that was, for so long, completely cut off from the rest of the world.
I mean, just take a look at this. This is the Chenab River Gorge. It's this gaping, dizzying chasm that for decades was one of the toughest natural barriers in all of India. The challenge here wasn't just to cross it, it was to do it in a way that honestly felt like it was rewriting the laws of physics.
It sounds like a kid's question, right? What if trains could fly? But that's the kind of fantastical question you're forced to ask when you look at a gorge like that and try to imagine laying a railway line across it. I mean, how do you even begin to build a bridge where there's seemingly nothing to stand on?
Well, that's how. 359 meters. That is the absolutely staggering height of the Chenab Bridge's deck above the riverbed. That makes it, officially, the world's highest railway bridge.
So to really wrap your head around that number, let's bring in a landmark everyone knows, right? The Eiffel Tower. The Chenab Bridge soars a full 35 meters. We're talking about an 11-story building higher than the Eiffel Tower. It is just a structure on an absolutely monumental scale. So how on earth did this actually happen? In this explainer, we're going to walk through the whole story. The impossible dream that started it all, the incredible challenge of conquering the Himalayas, the sheer genius engineering that made it an icon, and of course, what this bridge really means for the future.
You see, for decades, the Kashmir Valley was almost totally isolated from the rest of India by this incredibly rugged, high-mountain terrain. The dream was to build a reliable, all-weather connection, and this bridge was going to be the centerpiece of this hugely ambitious project called the Udhampur-Srinagar-Baramulla Rail Link, or USBRL.
Before this railway, the only way in by land was this winding 185-mile road, and it was so unpredictable. I mean, you had constant accidents, landslides, heavy winter snow. All of it could cut the entire region off for days, sometimes weeks at a time. So this wasn't just about making travel more convenient. It was literally about creating a lifeline.
But building that lifeline, well, it meant declaring war on nature itself. The Himalayas are not a gentle landscape. They're geologically young, they're active, and they're incredibly unforgiving. What's so wild about this list is that it's basically the villains of our story. First, you've got the raw terrain, just these treacherous, inaccessible cliffs. Then, the ground itself isn't even solid. It's unstable, made of fractured rock. On top of that, you throw in extreme weather with massive temperature swings and winds that could gust up to 266 kilometers per hour. And, as if that wasn't enough, the entire site is in seismic zone 5. That's the highest risk earthquake zone in India. It's not just one challenge, it's a perfect storm of engineering nightmares.
And this right here shows you the foundational problem perfectly. The very mountainsides that had to support this colossal bridge, they weren't solid rock. They were broken and fractured, which meant there was a huge risk of the entire structure just sliding right into the river below.
So the solution? Absolutely pure engineering genius. First, they drilled deep and installed these cable anchors to literally stitch the fractured rock together. Then, using high-pressure grouting, they basically injected a type of liquid concrete into every single crack, gluing the whole slope together from the inside out. They didn't just build on the mountain, they had to reinforce the mountain itself.
Okay, but that only solved the foundation. It didn't solve the most basic problem of all: access. The first survey teams had to use pack animals in boats just to reach the site. So how in the world do you get almost 30,000 tons of steel and heavy machinery up a sheer cliff?
The answer? You build another piece of incredible infrastructure just to build the main one. This is one of the world's largest crossbar cable cranes. It was held up by these huge pylons on each side of the 950-meter gorge. And this crane system became the project's lifeline, lifting every single piece of steel into place.
So, with the mountain secured and a lifeline in the sky, the stage was finally set for the main event. Building a massive steel arch, piece by piece, suspended hundreds of meters in the air, with zero support from below. The method is called cantilever construction. It's pretty wild. After anchoring the massive foundations, engineers started building the arch out from both sides at the same time. And as each new section was added, temporary stay cables were used to hold the growing structures, anchoring them back to the mountainside. This kept them stable as they reached out over the massive void, just inching closer and closer to each other. And this was the moment of truth.
They called it the Golden Join. After years of painstaking work, the two halves of the arch finally met in the middle. They were joined with millimeter-level precision. And that single moment didn't just complete the span, it created an icon.
But here's the thing. This bridge isn't just big, it's built to be practically unbreakable. It can handle a magnitude 8.0 earthquake, it can resist hurricane-force winds, its main arch ribs are filled with concrete for extra strength, and it's made of a special blast-proof steel designed to survive a 40-ton TNT explosion. And its planned lifespan? 120 years. Just incredible.
So, with the impossible built and secured, we get to the final and honestly the most important question. What does a bridge like this actually do? Its impact goes so far beyond just steel and concrete.
As the crown jewel of that whole USBRL project, the Chenab Bridge is the crucial missing link. For the very first time, it gives the Kashmir Valley a totally reliable, all-weather connection to the rest of India's massive railway network. It basically ends centuries of geographic isolation.
And the impact is immediate. It's tangible. A journey between Katra and Srinagar that could easily take most of a day on those dangerous roads, it's now down to just about 3 hours. That's not just an improvement, that's a complete game changer for commuters, for trade, and for the whole region's tourism potential.
And this quote right here, it just grounds the whole project in its human impact. For local farmers and traders, people like apple growers, this bridge isn't just some engineering marvel. It's an economic lifeline. It means their products can get to markets all across India way faster and more reliably than ever before.
So, in the end, the Chenab Bridge is so much more than the world's highest railway bridge. It's a testament to human ingenuity, it's a vital economic artery, and it's this powerful, real symbol of connection and national integration.
It really leaves you with a final thought, doesn't it? I mean, structures like this are designed to span physical divides, rivers, gorges, valleys. But when we manage to build a bridge this monumental against all the odds, what we're truly connecting are people, economies, and futures.